Hi, good morning folks. My name's Ed Scallon, and this is a simple way to increase the speed of your internet connection. I can't take all the credit. A fellow back in 1821 discovered how to do it, and I'll give you his name and show you what he did. And we're going to take a page from his book and we're going to build a device. Okay, I did say it's going to be simple, and I want you to take a look at the next couple of slides so you know where we're going, and I'll see you on the other side. That's the fellow, Michael Faraday. He was a chemist. He studied law, got his civil law degree, discovered benzene as a chemist. But what we're here today is about Faraday's breakthrough with the phenomenon of mutual induction. We're going to take a page from his book, and we're going to build a device, rather simple device, which will connect your Ethernet cable between your router, provided by your IPS, and your computer. Again, this will not work on a wireless system. The device needs to be connected between the router and your desktop computer, or for that matter, a laptop, and it will increase your internet speed. We do not have to change any of the registers. We do not have to go into the router. We do not have to go into the computer and change any parameters. This is a simple device connecting your router to your computer. Okay. Now, I'll meet you over at the electronic workbench, and we will construct this device, and then we will connect it to the computer, first doing a speed check on the MIPS that we're currently using without the device, and with the same cable we will then add the required components and do the exact speed test again, and you will see a significant difference. Okay, here we are at my workbench in my radio room, Radio Shack. We're going to use a very simple, plain, store-bought Ethernet cable. You can make these if you have the wire, E5 wire. But we're going to use a store-bought Ethernet cable for this demonstration. We're going to plug one end into the router and the other end into the computer, and you will see the difference from a standard Ethernet cable with its speed, internet speed, and then we place a completed device between the router and the computer. You will see a significant increase in the speed of the internet. Now I'm going to do a close-up so you can see what I'm doing, and when we're done, we'll then go back to the computer system, and we will connect up the device after we run a speed check without the device. Okay. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is acquire a couple of store-bought AA batteries, and we're going to check their voltage. And we will see that the voltage is 1.55 volts DC, in this battery, and this battery is overcharged with 1.61 volts DC. Okay, now that we know that both batteries are fully charged, we're going to construct the device. After I get my leads out of the way here. So we're going to take our Ethernet cable that we bought. We're going to take and measure approximately 4 inches from the Ethernet connector. So just about here is where we're going to put the battery. You place the positive side, it actually is a plus sign in front, got the little nipple in the front, and you're going to place that on the Ethernet cable. Now there's electrical tape is preferred over Scotch tape, and one would just wind up the battery onto the Ethernet cable, as I'm doing here. I'm using white tape because it just looks a little neater, but it's still electrical tape. It seems that electrical tape has some kind of conductive properties in it, different than regular Scotch type tape. Okay, now that we have the first battery connected, we're going to connect the second battery. Now here's the trick. Again, you place the positive end of the battery with the plus symbol approximately 4 inches from the connector. Now there is a question that arose whether or not multiple batteries would even increase the speed further. After experimentation, I found it really doesn't help that much, if at all. Okay, so we're going to take and put this battery onto the Ethernet cable, and we will then go and experiment at the computer. And that's it. It is simple. We don't have to change any of the parameters that the internet provider service gives us. So here it is. That is it. That's all there is to it. It's just a simple Ethernet cable with 2 batteries attached to it. See you back at the computer. Well, I have now connected a similar, duplicate, exact companion cable that we just constructed the 2 batteries on, and I have that attached to the router and then to the computer. We're going to do a speed test on a couple of different IP providers, internet providers, and we're going to use Comcast and Verizon, and we'll see what the speed is with just a typical Ethernet cable without any modifications. Okay, now watch this. Okay, we're back at the computer. So we're going to take our newly constructed Ethernet Accelerator, I'm going to call it, and we're going to connect it to the computer, which is right down here. and the other end to the router, which I will bring forward in a moment. Here is the router, and we're going to plug the other end of the Ethernet cable into the router. Now we're going to conduct the speed test. So let me zoom in on the computer. And let's see if I can't get a nice, clear speed test. So we're going to go Comcast. Since their system is up in Boston. So you can use any one of these, Verizon, Comcast, and these are right here. You can see the speeds. Well, let's go right to Xfinity speed test. Significantly faster than the 30 or 40 MIPS that we were getting before we added the batteries to the cable. Okay, let's try it again just to make sure that it's not a flash in the pan. That's pretty fast. Okay, why don't we try Verizon, I guess, or AT&T, one of the other IPS providers. So give me a moment while I get out of this program. And we'll get into Verizon Internet. Here's Verizon speed test. Now we're not, we don't receive Verizon. We have Comcast here at the house. But you can see the speed test equals that what we were getting at Comcast. With the device installed. Very similar results. You may wonder why the internet speeds are different. Quite frankly, the internet sends their data signal down the line at about 24,700 MIPS. Depending upon the package you pay for, the IPS will slow or will program your router to only receive between 40 and 150 MIPS. If you're lucky, it gets up to about 160, 170. This device will bring you up to about 1,700 MIPS. My router here is rated at around 400. So I can probably get about 500 MIPS out of it. But with the added device, I can get 1700, almost 2000 MIPS, which doubles the data transfer download speed. The upload speed pretty much is static, approximately 40 MIPS, 30 MIPS, but in any event, the download speed is what we're looking for. The next couple of charts will explain how the providers charge per MIP, and they charge approximately 50 cents per data MIP. So if you multiply out what your router is putting out, that'll give you an idea of what your internet bill should be. This will work with any system, whether it's Cox or Comcast or Verizon, as long as it has a router, and the router has an Ethernet connection to the computer. It will not work wireless, simply because there is no connection with the new device, the battery device, the accelerator, with the computer. It's all done wirelessly, so you can't speed that up, unfortunately. At least I haven't figured out how yet. Okay, so check out the next couple of slides, and it'll show you exactly what the IPS charges. Okay, so how does this all work? What's the theory behind it? Well, I think the best way to describe it is to show you exactly what's going on with the battery. The battery has a field around it, and that field works on the Ethernet cable. And there is a pretty nice video diagram of it that is represented on the computer. So let's swing over to that, and we will then talk. As you can see in the video, the battery is giving off positive and negative charges at the separate ends of the battery. And when you place the battery parallel to the wire, okay, the current fills the wire, and it is uniform. Essentially what it does is it accelerates the electrons in the wire to give you a faster internet speed. The internet providers program your router to give you only the speed that you pay for. What we've done by putting these batteries around the field of the electrons in the data cable, we have then reaccelerated the data coming to your computer. And that is the theory behind it. Okay, well, thank you very much for visiting my Radio Shack and putting up with the experimentation on increasing internet speed. Again, we just applied some of Faraday's principles to a modern problem, and we have a solution. Okay, you have a great day and great rest of your week. Thanks for being here. Bye now.